Hello everybody. Alright, rotate the device. Oh, really? Like is this? Oh, I didn't know it can only be that way. Alright. Well, I hope the board is still visible. Should be. I got an eye on it there. So that's nice. Hello, realm of YouTube. I'm sure 90% of you won't be watching this right from the get-go. You're probably going to watch it after I end the live recording. This is my first live recording. Let's get right into some random thoughts. As you can see, someone was foolish enough to leave a classroom open. And here I am making a video. Alright, so we're going to discuss a theory I made in another video, but I'm assuming you didn't check that one out. Or you did and you got too bored of it. This one is with visuals. It's called Earth, brace yourselves, number 1117. Now right off the bat, this might sound like conspiracy theory talk, but hear me out. Can you see the board? Is the board visible? The board is barely visible. We gotta fix that. Technical difficulties when you're doing a live show. Here we go. We'll be right back. Here we go. Done. Much better. And now you're too close. Oh wait, you can see it. Earth number. Well, I can see it in the reverse. There we go. Just a little more. Alright. Shitty handwriting means it's legit, so listen up, people. Alright. So in this theory basically entails, right, in order for you to explore it, let's take the hypothetical situation that we all died and we're gonna go to one of two places, right? Let's call them heaven, and let's call the other place hell. So, some of us are gonna go here, and some of us are gonna go here. Actually, most of us are gonna go to hell. So, I mean, if we're being honest, and there you go, heaven. Now, whether you look at it as you're in hell forever, or you look at it as you're in hell, let's say, doing your sentence, and then you're gonna graduate to heaven, however you view it. This is the main concept that we have. So, you get to let's say you're lucky enough and you go to heaven. So here you are, la 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 la, I'm in heaven now. And you begin living there, living out your life. Imagine you're lucid dreaming. You can have anything you want. You wish upon anything, you get it in front of you. But then that kind of gets mundane because as time passes, it'll get boring. Let's say you enjoy it for 100 years, 1,000 years, 100,000 years, million years, billion years, until the end of time. Like that's an infinite duration. We can't put up with that. And evidence for that, if you believe in this stuff, is Adam, right? So Adam had to take a bite out of the apple. And he had heaven and everything, but still it wasn't enough. See, that's the thing. The ultimate treasure is being content with what you have. Because even if you're not happy with what you have and you're in heaven, you could still be spending a shit time or looking for a forbidden fruit to do, even though you're in paradise. However, if you look at it from a different perspective where you have nothing, but you're happy, you're content with it, that's the ultimate treasure. Because there you go, you're happy with whatever you have, and that's the ultimate goal, right? And in the end, those happinesses that you get in heaven, which are like sex and food and whatever, those aren't really stuff that we could extend or take it much longer down in the history. It doesn't feel like a sufficient reward, like you feel more like kettle, because what are you? You're just being raised by God. You have no purpose, you have nothing to fulfill. So in this video, we're going to go over what we have to fulfill and exploring the concepts of good and evil. Now, you're in heaven and you get bored. You're like, damn, this is fucking boring. It's been 1 billion years. We want to do something different. Let's go back to the time where we got surprised. So we all start thinking, the people in heaven or whatever, they start thinking, they're like, oh, what's the best time when where all of us can, feel surprised and enjoy what we're doing, and kind of like when you go watch a movie, right? You go to the cinema, you want to feel immersed in it. When you play a video game, you want to feel immersed in it. You want to scare yourself a little bit. You want to feel the suspense. And so we won't feel it up there because we know we can see the jig is up. We can see the puppeteers behind the puppets, and that messes up the whole game for us. So, in order to relieve life, we're going to ask of God, hey, can you like send us back to earth? You know, that was fun when we didn't remember what we were and we wanted to have fun. So then God, in that hypothetical situation, would say, alright, let's ask the people in hell. So the people in heaven were like, yeah, totally, let's restart earth. And the people in hell are like, please restart earth, we want to get the fuck out of here, right? So earth is restarted. And then we go back and earth returns all over again. And we live out our lives. And now this time we come back to it. Some are going to heaven, some are going to hell. What is that? Cheers, mate. I appreciate it. So as I was saying, some go to heaven, some go to hell. We go back to the same situation and we're like, damn it, we want to reset. And this keeps repeating over and over and over again, right? Until a lot of people, they say, oh, I've never seen a demon or I've never seen anything, you know, like supernatural. And so you could say to that, in this theory, the explanation would be that they were all here in the beginning when the demonstration was happening. What demonstration? Let's get into the problem of good and evil, right? So, let's say, we're going to look at it from the educational system's perspective. So let's say we have two people, right? Kevin and let's call him Abdullah. There we go, Abdullah is a good boy. Right, so Abdullah is a religious person, as you can tell by the name, and Kevin is an atheist. Well, it's not really evident by the name, but you get what I mean. So, Kevin believes in, this is his field of knowledge, okay? And this is science. This is religion. This is, you know, maths and whatnot. And so, Kevin believes that you can live life just using these. You don't need religion. Right? This type of knowledge, you don't need access to it. This is sufficient. Abdullah, however, lives inside this circle, within religion itself. Outside religion, you have science and you have all this other stuff. So Abdullah says, hey man, you don't need to ever leave the circle. Once you go into the circle, you don't ever need to leave it. Because it has all the information that you need. It encompasses me completely. So, that's their difference in point of view. Now we look at the future generation. Let's say a mixed kid. Let's call her, what do we call her? We call her Jane Ahmed or something, right? So, Jane Ahmed now wants to go to school. What does she study? Does she include religion? Or does she seclude religion like Kevin says, like we don't need to learn it, maybe you should go find it out on yourself? Or should we teach him religion and force him to believe in it, like Abdullah says? Right. I think the common ground and the logical way to go about this is to, first of all, allow religion to be studied, and not religion, but all religions, right? So allow them to be studied in a subjective manner. So let's say this year we learn Buddhism, next year we learn Islam, that way, it'll be like honest journalism. What is journalism? It doesn't give you an opinion. It gives you the tools to formulate an opinion. And that is what schools should be doing. They shouldn't really give you a biased opinion. Now, that is an example to set up the problem of good and evil. So, let's say in the day of creation, this is all hypotheticals by the way, you would have, this is what is created, what is known, and you have, before humans were made, you have the angels on one side. I wonder if you guys can see them. I'm going to try to scribble them out and give them some wings. I don't know if you can see it or not. And then over here you have the demons. Right. So now let's say they represent okay. Ouija boards don't work because there's no actual proof of them. The spirit world, I'll get into that in a bit. And yeah, I'll respond. Just give me a time. Let me finish formulating this. Getting back into it. You got angels, you got demons. Let's represent them good and bad, and let's black and white, or let's say 1 and 0, not one necessarily being better than 0. So these two are necessaries. Now, if this is a manifestation of good, let's call it angels, all it can produce is good. So, if it does something virtuous, it can't take credit for it, because it didn't choose it. Whatever it creates is the manifestation of good. So therefore, you can't praise it for being good, because that is what it is. In the same way, you can't fault evil, demons, whatever it is, for being evil or bad, because that is what they are. Whatever they create is evil, because that's what they manifest. So you have good, bad. Now, what is the truest form, the truest form of good and bad? The truest form of good and bad is free will. That's right, because in order to truly do good, you must have the capability to do like a lot of bad. Like the most honorable people aren't the people who can't harm you no matter what. They're the people who can really harm you and choose not to, right? And in the same way goes with if you do something good and you have the ability to be bad. If you do something bad and you have the power to be good, and then you're much more held accountable for it. So the truest form comes out in a third entity, I wonder if you can see this, which is, I'll draw it like a piece of mud or clay, which is us human beings. We look like a turd. We human beings represent the ultimate manifestation of either true good or true bad, because we are capable of both. And that is the lesson in good and evil, and how we stand on that. Alright, now let me answer the question by the lovely people joining in. I'm sure it's just one person, but thank you, I appreciate it. Hey. Right, Ouija boards, I don't believe in them. That's a quick answer. Do I believe there's a spirit world? Well, statistically speaking, there should be, because our knowledge is so limited. Our eyes can only see a certain degree of light. Our ears can only hear a certain range of sound. So what we can see is just such a small fraction of the puzzle. And for us to assume that all we see is all that there is false, which is what leads me to conclude that there should be something we don't know about. Which religion do I follow? I follow Islam, but there's more to it than the typical dude. As in a sense of one must be lost in order to be found in your own journey. And I think if you're born with a religion, you shouldn't carry it forward. You should discover other options, because it is a fundamental arrogance to say that out of 7 billion people, I happen to be born into the only right religion. A question. If it was Adam's first wife, Lilith, do you know the mark of Cain? If it was Adam's first... Wait, Adam's first wife, Lilith? Really, wasn't it Eve? And no, I don't know the mark of Cain. That's fascinating. Never heard about that. But who the fuck is Lilith? Right. Next problem we get into is, I was gonna get into some comedy, but that's a bit too graphic for my demographic. Too much fun. Alright, I'm assuming the board can be seen. Let's see. Let me draw something. Can it be seen? Yeah, it can be seen. But it has to be really big. Right. The arrogance of faith, we covered that. Okay, Lilith is a demon. Ooh. Oh, hello there, Naveen. Nice to see you around. Well, that's a fucking fascinating thing. I've never heard about that. There you go. I guess you put on something to broadcast, and then you end up having knowledge broadcasted towards you. There you go. I believe that covers all of it for today. Right. Well, I've been jabbling on for 15 minutes. I'll be uploading 2 covers today. I'll be looking into Adam's lover, which honestly, if you were gonna make a movie out of like out of derived from the religious superstition, let's call it, then that's a great way to start a sequel. That's a really good way to have part two. Lust in the kingdom of heaven. So Cain, after he lied to God, whoever hit Cain would deal 7 times more of the damage. Aha. Right. Wait, let me try to understand this. The mark of Cain was placed on Cain after he lied to God. Whoever hit Cain would deal 7 times more of the damage. Okay, so it makes you weaker, right? It's like a superpower tag. So you get tagged with it, and anything that harms you 7 times more. 7, yeah? So that's the thing. That sounds very superstitious. Yet that's the shit that sells. That's the interesting shit people want to talk about. Yeah. I'm done with today's thing. Tomorrow I'll be talking about the fundamental difference between men and women. It's pretty graphic. So strap in. And what else am I going to talk about tomorrow? Yeah, I believe that's it. Fundamental difference between men and women. And we'll see what other stories arise. Oh yeah, and Mr. Potter, the racist teacher. It's a story time. I don't know it, Antonios, but 3 Days of Darker. I'm assuming you know more about this shit than I do, so maybe you should go ahead and try a live thing. No, say if I hit you hard, you would be fine and I would deal 7 times more damage. What? So the stamp is on me, you hit me and you get the damage? So God made him invincible for lying? Am I understanding this correctly? And I said goodbye so many times. Alright, peace out. Adios.